This is Allora, and this is her story. I adopted Allora in August of 2017. I had just lost a cat and Libby was lonely. This is our first meeting at the cat cafe. She was sleek and confident and had been there the longest. So I was smitten and I knew Libby would love her, because Libby loves all cats. And Allora was adjusting pretty well to her new surroundings. Soon they became best friends. Libby loved to obsessively groom her, and Allora loved to turn around and attack her. Oh, and the boop battles were epic. This was the first time that I had two cats that got along, that were best friends, and that was pretty cool. Allora was fitting in great. One Friday night I came home from work and noticed Allora wasn't breathing well. She was putting way too much effort into her breaths. And I've been a vet tech for almost 20 years now, so we packed her up and took her into the clinic. I was prepared for the worst because a 1-year-old should not be breathing poorly. We took chest rads and confirmed her lungs were filled with fluid. We drew blood and took some of the fluid out of her chest, and it confirmed what I was afraid of. Allora had FIP. FIP, feline infectious peritonitis. It's a mutation of a common GI virus called corona. Most kittens are exposed to corona pretty early and is spread in the stool. It'll cause a little GI upset, but the virus lives in their body. In a few cats, that virus will mutate, and that mutation can cause FIP. There are two forms of FIP, wet, which causes fluid buildup, and dry, which causes lesions on internal organs. No matter which type cats have, it is considered a fatal disease. Knowing FIP all too well, I decided to take Allora home and prepare myself, knowing I wasn't going to have much time with her. To my surprise, after removing 200 mLs of fluid off her chest, she returned to being my kitten and being Libby's best friend. She wasn't showing any symptoms. She was eating great, playing more than ever, and other than the shaved patches on her sides, you would never know she had a problem. Weeks went by, and I was optimistic that maybe she could be one of those crazy cases we hear about that live with FIP. It is so rare that it's not even talked about in the vet community. So I didn't want to get my hopes up, but maybe. During this time, I read every new study, new medication that was out for FIP to see if there was anything else I could do. And that's where I came across a study at UC Davis that was looking into treatments, and it was looking promising. And the doctor who ran that study was going to be talking at a conference that I was already going to go to. I thought this was fate, that I was meant to go to Denver to see this conference. I will say, before we made it to Denver, Allora started breathing a little troubled again. So we took her back into the clinic and had another 180 mLs drained off of her chest. And again, she seemed to bounce back pretty well. As soon as the fluid was off, her breathing returned to normal. She was playing, her appetite was good, as you can see. So off to Denver I went. and it was amazing. The UC Davis study is so promising that it gave everyone there hope that we might see an end to this incurable disease that has affected so many, including me. We're still talking years before it actually gets into doctors' hands, which I know for me meant Allora would probably be gone. But if I could see an end to this horrible disease in my lifetime, it'd be worth it. Shortly after Denver, about a month and a half after her diagnosis, I was bringing her in every 1 to 2 weeks to drain fluids off. Each time, it seemed like we weren't getting as much fluids as the last, and she wasn't recovering quite as well. She started to get fevers, and her activity level started to go down. On her last chest tap, they could see a lot of scarring in her lungs. And finally, she stopped eating. On November 15th, we said goodbye to Allora. I know I was one of the lucky ones. I had a good month of a happy FIP positive cat, and most don't get that. This is just my story. There are thousands like mine. I know I was supposed to have Allora. I know she put me on this path so I could do everything I could to stop this disease, to stop others from having to go through this. The WIN Foundation shares my passion. Their mission is to advance feline health by supporting research and education. Their BRIA fund was established specifically for FIP research, and it's a key source of funding for many FIP studies. That's why I'm collecting donations for the WIN Foundation today. If you can spare $1 or $2, please think about donating. This disease has been thought to be uncurable as long as I've been in this profession. And right now, there is a cure so close. It's too late for Allora, but we can make it possible for others. If you can't donate right now, I understand, it's okay, but think about sharing the link. Together, we can all tell FIP where to go.
Fuck FIP.
Fuck FIP.
Fuck FIP. Fuck you, FIP.